NDPC hosting the 2025 Network of Africa Data Protection Authorities Conference. What is hoped to be achieved at this conference, and why should Nigerians particularly pay attention?
Thank you very much. The Network of Africa Data Protection Authorities is an organization of data protection authorities in Africa. That is the equivalent of the Nigeria Data Protection Authority in other African countries. As we speak, we have about 30 countries that are members of this body. These are countries that already put in place their national legislation on data protection and who have established their independent data protection authorities. On another basis, they meet to look at the data privacy landscape globally and look at what is happening in Africa and do a kind of peer review. I look at areas that we need to improve on. What have we done very well in Africa? More importantly, looking at the level of technological advancement in Africa, the population, over 1.4 billion people, and most of them are digital natives that we share our personal information on a regular basis. What are we really doing in Africa to ensure that we protect the privacy of all our citizens? So this body meet on an annual basis to look at what is happening and what we need to do to plan for the future to ensure that the rights, the freedom and interest of all Africans, wherever they are, is guaranteed.
Why should Nigerians, especially the young people, why should they be concerned about this conference?
Because it's a way of, one, recognition of Nigeria, that the data privacy ecosystem in Nigeria has grown over time. Yes, we started a bit late, but you trust us in Nigeria. Whatever we do, we do it very well.
Yes.
We'll be able to catch up with the rest of the world, and we're doing very well in terms of our laws, in terms of the data protection authority, in terms of awareness, in terms of capacity building, in terms of what we're even contributing to the economy. Our position in Africa has now been recognized as a country that's really serious for digital business. And the fact that over 65% of Nigerians are digital natives, they go online to do one thing or the other. Some of citizens in the country, if you remove digital technology from their lives, you render them useless. Now, in doing that, you share your information on a regular basis. Those you share your information to, what do they do with this information? How do they collect? How do they share? How do they store? Who do they share with? Is there any cross-border transfer of data? These are issues that have concern for all Nigerians. The moment you share your data, you are a data subject. To data controllers and processors, what are they doing with your information? What are they doing with your data? And we need to do a kind of peer review. What is happening in other African countries? Now we're talking about African Free Trade Agreement, Continental Free Trade Agreement. This is talking about having a single digital market for Africa. And there's no way you can have this without digital identity, cross-border transfer of data, of businesses and so on. Even the area of global competitiveness of our businesses, that is our indigenous businesses. What is our position globally? Because a lot of countries, a lot of multinationals, a lot of companies outside the country, they are not willing to do business with you if you are not put in place appropriate measures to guide and to protect the data they are sharing with you. This is the area of trust and confidence in our digital economy. We've done a lot in the area of digital economy in the country. As we speak, in fact, the last 5 years, the digital economy sector has been contributing between 18 and 20% to our GDP, which speaks volume. The foundation to this is your digital identity, which we share on a regular basis. So an average Nigerian is a data subject, who is in the business community, should be able to say, this is what people are doing with my data, this is what people are doing with my information. And that's why we brought a lot of experts from this country. There are a lot of experts in data in this country now, and from other African countries and globally. All of them are coming from different parts of the world to look at what is happening in Africa and in Nigeria in particular. It's also a way of marketing our nation. That is a country that is ready for digital business. Mr. President is going around the whole world to look for foreign direct investors. This is one of the things they look into your country when they come into your country. Can their rights be protected? If there are issues with their digital identity, with their identity, who do they run to? Is there any law protecting them? So it's like marketing Nigeria in a way too. So these are things that we stand to gain in this conference.
That's, I mean, it's beautiful because you've set the tone for other very important questions that are going to come and that are to follow right now. And one of those questions for me would be, data is more than gold right now. It's way beyond gold. And then the question is, how do we balance it in such a way that in this digital future, there is a balance between progress and privacy. Like you have started, that conversation. How do we balance it? This very valuable, thing that we have. How do we balance it between privacy and then the progress we want to make?
You've actually touched the theme of the conference, which is all about balancing innovation in Africa.
Yeah.
The place of data privacy. We want to innovate, we want to grow, we want to develop, we want to make progress, we want to do businesses with other parts of the world, we want to interact seamlessly. At the same time, you want to protect your privacy. The world we live in now is driven by digital technology. We talk of emerging technologies, we talk of robotics, we talk of artificial intelligence, we talk of Internet of Things, big data, and so many other things. All these things are driven by data. Without data, you can't really do anything. Now, we want to move the rest of the world. At the same time, we are saying our privacy should be protected. Whereas you give all this information the moment you go online to do anything or to do one thing or the other. Now, how do you now ensure that your right, your privacy is protected? That is why globally what countries are doing now is to put in place their national laws, regulations that will guide the way whoever collects and processes your data will handle your data. And that is why you'll be able to guarantee your privacy. That yes, in my country, I give out my data freely. Whoever has my data has put in place some measures to ensure that such data is protected. And it's a way of building trust in the way your data is being processed, is being collected, is being shared, is being stored. What are the things they need to put in place? These are things that will actually guarantee trust in their system. So as a country and as a people, what we should be looking at is we want to be part of the global trend in terms of innovation, in terms of technological advancement. Then how do we protect the interests of our people, the personal information of our people, which can either be sensitive or not sensitive? Your name, your passport number, anything that could be used to identify you as a natural person. What measures have they put in place to ensure that they are protected? That's why we have the law in Nigeria. So the law is being used to balance that innovation in technology, balance that innovation in the progress we are trying to make in the technological world. Now, what we are trying to bring in Nigeria is not a kind of law that will stifle development. A lot of people, a lot of startups especially, when there's a new law, when there is regulation, especially in the tech space, they say, oh, they are coming to stampede what we are doing. No. Our case in Nigeria is developmental regulation. And that's why our approach has been different from other countries. We are not really going out to look for people we are going to really hit with fines or penalties. All we are trying to do is we invite everybody, we see ourselves as partners. Now, there's innovation, there's growth in technological advancement. Nigeria as a country, we as a people, we want to participate in it. What do we need to put in place? Let's sit down together. If there are some things you are doing as a data controller or processor that we know that are not proper, we call you. You have been doing A, B, C, D in the way and manner you collect and process the data of Nigerians. Kindly do A, B, C, D to ensure that you are building trust in your own organization. Because it's all about value proposition. If you are all allowed to find what value are you adding to the data controllers and processors, we are now telling them there is value in protecting the integrity of the data that you have in your database, that there is no unauthorized access to the data you have in your database, to know that there is no misuse of data that you have in your database. How do you do this? That is where we come in to say, these are the things you need to do in your privacy policy, having a DPO, put in place organizational measures, put in place technical measures to ensure that such data is protected. And that is the balance we are trying to create. Yes, we want to innovate, we want to develop, we want to advance, we want to move the rest of the world. Now, we still want to guarantee the right of our citizens. That is what the law is doing, to ensure that the two are going hand in hand. No one is particularly